The Bible says that Jesus walked full of grace and full of truth. He was full of grace and full of truth. He can tell me right now, that thing that you just did, yeah, it's not good, Reshma. This is how it's gonna affect you. I can receive that because he's so gracious. I will wholeheartedly receive that. As believers, we must also be full of grace and full of truth. Think about this for a minute. What does it look like when a person or a church, a Christian organization, whatever, are leaning more towards grace, but there's no truth? Or they're leaning more this way, all truth, but no grace. I don't have to explain what that experience is like, being on the receiving end of either of those. Always, 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 I come back to the same thing of how much we need Jesus. And if you look at all the issues of life and what believers do wrong or why they do some things the way that they do it and the motivations of their heart and all of that, they're not fully submitted, or they're just, they think they know it all, or there's just so much pride in there. Psalm 86 and verse 11. Teach me your way, O Lord. I will walk and live in your truth. Direct my heart to fear your name. That means with awe-inspired reverence and submissive wonder. Let me read that again. Teach me your way, O Lord. I will walk and live in your truth. Direct my heart to fear your name. A lot of believers don't think they need to fear his name. I was looking up the same verse in another translation, and it says, give me an undivided heart to fear your name. That's exactly what we need to pray. An undivided heart. I was listening to Lester Sumrall's testimony, and he was talking about his early days. He says he had no clue what he was doing. He didn't know. And he kept telling God, it's a demon manifesting. Can you please take care of that? He heard God say to him, no, not me. You do it. He just did it. But he said, I needed compassion and courage. He said, looking at this person suffering like that, I felt compassion for this person. That's exactly what Jesus walked in. This deep compassion for people. And so we need compassion too. But we also need courage. Lester Sumrall said, so I just raised my voice and I commanded that thing to get out of that lady, and it left. And he said, I didn't even have to touch the person. I didn't have to come close to that person. I just spoke from the pulpit and the devil came out. In order to walk in compassion and courage, we need to be fully submitted to Jesus. We need to walk fully in truth and fully in grace. This is the only way. And now you may be thinking, yeah, but not everybody's doing that, and yet they're doing all these things. Here's the thing to keep in mind. Don't spend so much of your time trying to figure out why this and why that. Spend all that time getting closer to Jesus. Otherwise, all this kind of thinking and contemplations, even though they may be right, will distract you from the most important things. Not spend too much time wondering who's right, who's wrong, who's doing it the right way, who's settling for things, who's compromising. While you may be right about all these things, just keep in mind, you focus on Jesus. You focus on doing things the right way. Okay, be fully submitted to Jesus. You focus on that. Don't waste your time going behind all these other contemplations, because they will become a big distraction. This happens to a lot of people. Anyway, I'll just stop here. I don't want this to be any longer. Love you all, and I will see you in the next video.